Welcome to the future where AI isn't just something we use, it's part of almost everything that we do. Though many people don't realize it, 77% of us are interacting with AI daily, from organizing our schedules to keeping us healthy and entertained. In business, AI is a big deal too. This technology is expected to change US employment figures dramatically by 2025, creating 12 million more jobs and boosting the global economy. But AI isn't all good news. It brings challenges like fake news and privacy concerns similar to the risks of nuclear technology.
So basically, from the technical point of view, it's a very easy to solve problem. It's just from the business point of view, when we are going to launch these things and how it goes and so on.
Dr. Jiajun Lu, a leader in AI and the founder of AI face swap tool Acool, tells us about the good and bad sides of AI, including how it's changing marketing, uncovering data patterns, and improving how we interact with technology. Join us for a straight talk episode of the DesignRush podcast about the future of technology and its impact. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more. Let's jump in. Alrighty, Jianjin, thank you so much again for joining us on the DesignRush podcast. We are so thrilled to pick your brain on AI's potential to enhance customer experience.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me to join the podcast, and I'm happy to share what we do, and especially in the marketing and advertisement.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's just dive right into the deep end. And firstly, start with how is AI being used to enhance real-time response capabilities in customer, marketing or experiences?
So we do a lot to use AI to provide the customized experience for each person. So basically, what we do is we create one video for per customer that's visit the website or that's opening the emails or on the social media. They see either themselves in the video or they see the people in the video are talking to them and so on. So it will be very engaging and very interesting.
Okay. And can you share a case study with us where the significantly really improved customer marketing in the case of Acool?
So I can share a story that we did together with Coca-Cola. So Coke and the League of Legends are together launching a new product. It's called Coke Ultimate, and it's a new flavor of Coke. And they need a marketing campaign to support the launch of the new product, and also they want to get the people engaged and interested. So because the League of Legends audience is mainland gamers, so they really designed a campaign that is very interesting. They put every customer are able to upload themselves and an avatar into a video of the Coke and League Legends game. So basically, it's an experience that the avatar is looking for the entrance for the League of Legends world, and he needs to collect crystals and so on. We are able to empower the experience of uploading the customer into the video as an avatar. So that's what we did, and it launches globally in almost 100 countries, and it goes viral, and people really like it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you about the Coca-Cola's Ultimate You campaign as well. Can you tell us some of the more intricate things that really went into implementing the campaign?
So it's mainly about the avatar abilities and the personal clone. So we are able to clone the person from simple user input from a photo, and then we put the person into the video. So that's an ability that we provide, and that's a thing that triggers people and makes them interesting.
That is incredible. So, okay, when you say you clone a person from their photograph, I mean, obviously that's like facial recognition and stuff that goes into that. Um, I'd be interested to know, like, where do you see that going in the next year? This whole like cloning people through a photograph and stuff. I think that's super interesting.
Yeah. That's a huge market and a huge space. And the thing is, everything just gets started. So because the technology is moving so fast, before we are only able to do some very simple clones and the simple changes, for small amount of things. But now, like the Sora and a lot of the new models come out, we can do much more. And definitely in the future, we think we are able to do lot more clones. So you can do anything. So currently, you can mainly do some simple changes, right? But we hope like we can make any person do anything with simple prompts or simple animations, and they can it will be a huge thing. So and definitely there are a lot of usages like marketing in the big use case, customer service is a big use case as well. You want to talk to a people, and a lot of the chat related stuff, as well as movie making. So in movie industry, we also have clients, and they also want to do many things related to the digital clone and related to the manipulating humans in the videos and so on. But we definitely expect lots of things will happen. So actually, people already begins to use it to clone the people who already passed away, and you can have conversations with these people and can interact with these people, and it will be definitely more and more natural. And when it goes to even bigger, probably you can just FaceTime with any person you imagine or any person you want to talk to, or maybe you open a social network. Probably it's all like AI generated virtual influencers, right?
Okay, Jianjun, you just mentioned a whole lot of things that would be considered quite controversial, I think, for a lot of people. I think especially, I know that for instance, like Hollywood was just striking because of they didn't want AI versions of themselves in films, and I also know that like maybe people. I mean, I would love to. There's some loved ones of mine that have passed on that I would love to just have that closeness and conversation with. I think that's quite therapeutic. There's a therapeutic element to that. Now, my point is, where or how would you mitigate that sort of controversy that surrounds these types of technologies, and when people sort of have that initial backlash towards it, if I can put it that way?
So definitely, I heard that there is a strike on Hollywood, and some of our clients also told us. So basically, um, most of these things are related to they are afraid it will take their job, or it will afraid to make them um, be less important, right? But that, from my point, or from at least lots of people in our industry, we think differently. We think these things are actually empowering you to do more things, and empowering you not just do more things, it's empowering you to do things that's not possible before. So if we just empower you to do things that uh, be faster, right? Probably someone will lose their job. The people who masters the tool will be keep the job, and someone who didn't master the tool will lose their job. If it just empower you to do things faster, that's a lot of the software does. They make people do faster in tools. We didn't experience too much issues with that from history. So, but that's from one point. The thing of AI is really empowering you to do things that's not possible before, right? Lots of things it's not possible before. So let's think in this way, right? So previously, you have lots of people to create one movie and push out to all the different people, right? You need to put huge amount of time into it. But with the development of AI, if you reduce 90% of the time, right? you are 10 times faster in creating movies. It doesn't mean like 9 people out of 10 will lose their job. It means we have the ability to create a lot more movies, or even one movie per customer, and it's actually greatly opened a new field that's provides something fundamentally different from before. So lots of the technology change. It not just speed up the process and make people lose their job, right? It also opens new opportunities, and they opens a new world. So
It's funny that you say that, because as you were talking, I just imagined this sort of futuristic world where we all have like AI clones of ourselves that does the heavy lifting of work for us, while we can maybe focus on other things that are more artistic or our hobbies or something like that. Do you think we'll ever get to a stage like that?
that will come sooner or later. It's just when it will come, and whether we are the right generation to enjoy that, right? So, but that will come. So that's I'm pretty optimistic for that. So yeah.
That would be amazing, I have to say. Okay, so just to move on a little bit now with the conversation of AI. In your own words, Jianjun, could you give us an overview of what emotional AI entails?
So I think emotional AI is a very interesting topic. So
Mm.
it's interesting because they think it's mainly for startups. Big companies don't do too much emotional AIs, but there is a strong need from the user, from the audience. So this is the field with strong need, and the large companies don't want to do it, or they are not so ready to do it, or not so ready to move so fast. So it's definitely a very interesting field. So if you look at the market, lots of the companies, especially in the startup world, they are going to the direction of emotional AIs, and they might do like more interesting chatting, right? Like even character.ai, like what they do, I think lots of other companies will not do, but people really like it, and I think lots of the kids talk with their talking with their virtual characters in the animes, and right. I think these are great, and also lots of the people talks to virtual boyfriend, girlfriend, and on all these chat places. So there is a strong need. The need is huge, and also the large companies are moving way slower. So definitely, it's a space that startups grow, and grows really fast. Yeah.
Hmm. Now, how have the recent developments in emotional AI enhanced its ability to really grasp human feelings in things like customer marketing?
Basically, what it does is we usually categorize these things into how realistic the people looks like. So especially in terms of us, we do avatars, and for lots of the avatars, the problem is the people looks fake, and as the technology progresses, the people looks not look fake, but the people's emotion looks strange. It's still pretty hard to control the right emotion on the avatars to match with what they speak, to match with their context, and so on. It's still a pretty challenging thing. We are able to do it pretty well. We are able to develop technologies to reanimate the people's face and express the emotions much better, and match the context. But in general, this is still a very difficult case in the current technology for their avatars, for their emotions. I know in language, large language models, and so on, they already handle it pretty well. On the video side, these subtle emotions and so on is still pretty hard. So if you look at, there's something that human is very sensitive to all the small changes and emotions of a human face. just we I think it's related to how much human face we've been watched, and how we are able to monitor these small changes and so on. So emotional AI will be a huge thing, and we are definitely moving towards that to make all the emotions and all the things look very natural on all the avatars, all the digital clones, and all these things. And it will affect people a lot because you don't want to talk with people that don't have too much emotions, right? Just like a robot. So if you don't have emotions of human, then you will feel that's a robot. So yeah.
How far off do you think we are from having sort of more emotional AIs that we can have a conversation with, like we are having a conversation now?
This will change really fast. So currently, lots of the technologies are still based on the face reanimations, like what we do. We already have emotions, but they're not perfect. Probably we're already one of the best on the market, but still lots to improve. But the coming out of Sora really makes us to see the possibility to bring much more things into the game, and much more emotions into the game as well.
Just moving on a little bit again now, how do AI algorithms really enhance customer experience by, uncovering things like hidden data patterns, and just stuff like that, really?
Um, so basically, definitely there are huge amount of things people do to enhance the customer experience with AI, from all the different aspects. But for what we do, is we really create something interesting to that specific customer and make that customer engaged. And what does that mean? Like the uploading avatar stuff. So lots of the brands that we work with is the brand has a celebrity and their brand ambassador or on their advertisement, and every user want to be together with the celebrity. So we are able to upload the person into the commercials to be together with the celebrity that has been go viral in lots of different places. And that's people really really like to be together with the celebrity, and for no reason. I don't know, but it depends on culture maybe also. So I'm not sure like how many Americans want to do that, but definitely lots of countries people love that. So yeah, basically what we do is really provide the personalized touch that make the boring ads to be interesting ads and to be engaging ads, or even ads you want to download and keep and watch again and maybe share to your friends as well. So
Okay, that sounds like a lot of fun, I have to say. I think I wouldn't mind being uploaded into an ad with some celebrities myself and saying that to my family and shock them. Um, so, just on the other hand, Jianjun, what would you say are the challenges, mitigating risks like data biases and privacy concerns in this type of AI use?
I think around data privacy and so on, there has been a long history, right? For the internet, it starts with all the cookies to all the different things, and different countries' policy is different. EU is pretty strict on the data policy and so on. There are several main like data privacy, data protection guidelines or rules, like the GDPR and CO2, and California also have its own rules and policies and so on. So we obey all these policies, and we make sure all these policies are implemented on our system, so we can work with all the enterprise clients in 100 countries or more. So data privacy is definitely very important, and I don't think too much things change in this generative AI wave. We have machine learning for a very long time, and the machine learning is pretty similar in terms of the data privacy and so on. Machine learning data privacy and generative AI data privacy are pretty similar. Um, and so basically, probably they will have some other guidelines come out, but in general, we feel it's already pretty well protected. Yeah.
Do you feel like there might be some work to be done when it comes to privacy surrounding AI still?
I think there will be some. Majority of the current privacy rules comes from the traditional software data privacy and also machine learning data privacy, right? So, and from the advertisement and marketing side, we will also see uh, many rules come out about how the data can be used and so on. So, what is different for the generative AI? I think the theme that's different is mainly around the copyright side. For other things, I think most of the direct data privacy rules just applies. There's not so much thing different. The only thing is different is on the generative AI side. There is more things around the copyright and how the copyrights are handled and all these things becomes much more complicated. Uh, it also becomes much harder to trace down and becomes much more complicated. And I think the copyright things will be huge, and it also depends on how much copyright things people want to enforce, and that could be also vary from country to country as well. Just like the data privacy things, it also varies from country to country, and the copyright things will also vary from country to country. And yeah,
Yeah, just on the topic also of generative AI and just machine learning, I'm not an expert like you, of course, but I do realize that it must be an extreme challenge to try and teach an AI anything without it learning from the internet like we all do, right? So I almost wonder where's the balance there, because we're human beings and we learn everything, if not from school, we learn from the internet, right? So even we regurgitate things that we learn from the internet and just put it in other words. So I wonder where that balance might be, with regards to how we look at AI copywriting things. And I just wonder do you think there are certain measures that we could put in place, or, what do you think the solution is to that?
so for the copyright, so it's a very hard thing. So you want to learn all this knowledge, right? Then you need to have the database, and it turns out that the more data you have, the significantly better results it has. So it's pretty consistent, and everyone is trying to use all the possible data available to train their models. Um, and then it becomes much harder to distinguish as well. And from what I know, there are many countries that are much more flexible around that, because in many countries, copyright is originally not well protected. Even not just the training neural network. Right? In many countries, originally copyright is not well protected. So, but definitely, in how I see this problem, I think the copyright is pretty important as well. But if we restrict the copyrights, then this field will definitely develop significantly slower, and people might move to their company to some other countries where copyright is not well protected. Or if US want to continue to lead in the field of generative AI, then it need to have some flexible things to support the companies to develop the technologies. Otherwise, might move the company to India, right? So, yeah.
Okay, so just getting a little bit more back to, customer preferences and stuff like that. I'm wondering, how have customer preferences evolved in response to, interacting with AI avatars? I know you guys have had quite an influence in that. So how do you see customers really interacting or responding to these avatars? And do you see this becoming the really like the next major trend in the next year or two?
People are really interested in these avatars, and it was more than we expected. So we originally think these things, even ourselves, for some of them, we don't think they are that interesting, but people are just very interested. So we realized that people are really interested um, in humans, like in celebrities, and these things are just by nature so many people get interested in.
Mhm.
And avatars, we definitely see it will keep growing and growing. Avatars is just humans, right? So it's the story about avatars is the story about humans, right? So um, definitely, currently the whole avatar check is still at pretty early stage, and there are a lot of more that can be done, and definitely we we will do a lot, but probably when we go deeper into that, there might also be some controversial discussions and so on. But because people are so worried about humans and so sensitive about humans, so in terms of what we do, but I think this is still just the beginning of the journey. Yeah.
Okay, now Jiajun, I know that a lot of people are hesitant to, or not a lot. I think more people are getting more and more comfortable with AI, but I think there are quite a few people still that are apprehensive of having it included in their daily lives, right? So I'm wondering, what strategies are proving to be the most effective in building that customer trust to AI driven services, would you say?
So I think that's it's pretty common, right? People are like interested in new things, but sometimes they are afraid of new things as well. I think when just the car comes out, people are also afraid of it as well, right? Even the trains, people are really afraid of it. So it's pretty normal. And how to make people be more comfortable or more confident about these technologies, I think it's about trying it out. So um, when you try it out, when you know more, then it will be better. And also, I think a lot of the companies already get started uh, to get some watermarks, to get some tools available to tell whether the videos are AI generated and so on. And if the whole system of whether to tell whether the whole thing is AI generated is built up. And it's so easy for you to identify all the videos. Then I think you will just go into a world that's with lots of the special effects movies, right? You can think that way, and you know what are movies, what are reality. Now you know like what is reality, what is movie, because you go to movie theater to watch it, right? But if you already like know like every video is tagged and you are notified if it's real or not, then you basically can watch movie everywhere, right? So that's a difference, I think. And also um, just get more play with it more and get used to it more, and definitely on the other side, more like labelings and abilities to detect and so on. These will help a lot. Yeah.
Okay, so time and transparency is basically the answer there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Can you explain how AI is enabling the level of hyper personalization within customer experiences? I mean, this was previously unattainable, I think, a lot of this stuff. So, how do you think that hyper personalization is evolving right now?
So basically, in the marketing and advertisement, the problem before is you don't feel the ads is related to you, right? And what this generation of company do, or what this wave does, is they do everything they could to relate their ads or relate their customer experience to you very closely. They try to get in touch with you and make it customized to you and make you feel they think it for you and make you feel it's interesting. So the personalization and the customization mainly goes to two directions. One is they want to make the whole experience better and more interesting, and people always like service with people, right? That's how the tip culture comes in the US, right? I think in US people really like to have the human touch. In some other countries, no, people don't like that. They don't care. They just okay with all the robots and so on. But in US, people really like that. Basically, the ultimate goal is you feel that at least, right, all the online, everyone is working with you, or everyone is helping you, and you feel like every content is created surrounding you, right? That's a feeling we want to create. So if you, right, you will feel you as a superstar. So
According to a recent study that was conducted by Customer Contact Week, I think it was 84% of companies believe that AI chatbots will become more important for communication between a customer and a business. Now, given these findings, how is the AI industry gearing up to provide more enjoyable and human interactions between consumers and chatbots? Is that still like going back down to making these chatbots more emotional, would you say, or is it something else?
yeah, so that's actually a very good question. So um, I mean, nowadays, when you talk with a company, whether they use AI or not, right, lots of companies say they use, and you ask them what they use, chatbot. So actually, sometimes we don't classify chatbot as AI anymore. So because like everyone is already using it. So I think from my experience, I don't like to talk to chatbot, and I want to talk to human. And it's not because chatbot don't give me a human feeling. That's not my core need. I don't care. The thing I care is they need to solve the problem. And usually when I call a customer service, I have a problem that need to be solved. It's not like I want to get some information. And frequently, the human have more rights or has more freedom to operate than chatbot, and they usually also can understand my problem better, especially if my problem is more difficult. So I prefer to have humans, not because I don't like to talk to chatbot. It's just because chatbot don't solve my problem or don't have the priority, don't have the right to solve my problem properly. That's a main thing I'm facing. So in order to make the chatbot experience better, I think definitely if we make it more emotional and more talk active and sounds more like a person, that's great. But the most important thing still comes to it can understand the complex problems I have. I don't need small chat from the chatbot. It doesn't help me. I need it to understand the problem correctly, and it have the ability to solve the problem, or it have the authorization or the rights to solve the problem. That's the most important thing to me. But definitely, if I talking with a person, a very nice looking lady on the chatbot, and I will be more patient. I will be more patient, waiting for her to help me to solve my problem and so on. That definitely helps. But finally, you need to solve my problem, right? Yeah.
You see, some things will never change, I don't think. Okay, so um, what would you say are some of the methods that companies are currently using to, really accurately measure return on investments of their AI investments and things like customer marketing, would you say?
Yeah. So I think people are already, especially a lot of companies, already begins to actively investing in their generative AI marketing, and this has been an area that people are getting into, and especially active in their marketing agency field. So there are huge amount of marketing agencies trying to look for creative ways to do marketing and serve their clients and so on. So we've been working with a lot of the marketing agencies, and a lot of them have a pretty good budget and they are very willing to try out new things. And I think on the brand side, that varies by brand. So most of the brands they are very interested to try out new things, and some brands probably a little bit more conservative and they still want to watch what's going on. But in general, this field is changing and it's changing really fast. And I think the marketing field is a very interesting field. And for the next thing is we need to show lots of good metrics to show that generative AI marketing works great and works much better than others, because the marketing is a field very hard to check and very hard to prove. So lots of the marketing money you spend, you don't know where it goes, right? So yeah, so it's definitely a very interesting thing. So if we are able to provide reliable ways to help them to track and prove the value, and also keep providing interesting things and very engaging things, um, the market opportunity is huge, and it's just the beginning still. Yeah.
What would you say are the specific ethical considerations that companies really must address when developing AI in these customer experiences? I mean, especially when it comes to things like I said, like face swapping and deepfakes.
So if you look at the history of how it goes, and if you look at all the things, face swap is a pretty common solution that everyone provides. Even Microsoft have their face swap solutions, and you can also use Photoshop and so on to do face swap and everything. So face swap is not something that's very new from this generative AI way. Just this generative AI with the improvement of technology, the face swap becomes much better than before. But this task is there and it's been very popular. I think it was frequently top the app stores globally in all the different countries. It frequently goes to the top of the app store. So people just there is a strong need for the face swap from the user side and from the deepfake from the user side as well. So deepfake is a larger category actually. The most famous one for deepfake is face swap. I also include other categories like voice clone and like lip sync and like all the human generation. All of these are under the deepfake category. Even the OpenAI's Sora, that would be
Mhm.
under deepfake as well. So yeah, all of these are under deepfake, and the face swap is the most famous one because this one is the one that comes out the earliest, because the technology, because two things. One is it's a relatively more constrained problem, and the second is it's the things people are most interested in. Face swap comes much earlier, and then the others also came out, but all of them under deepfake. So deepfake, basically, there is no good or bad from the technology point of view. And there are huge amount of research and things ongoing around it. And why the face is so important and people care about face so much is if you look at a lot of other countries, face recognition has been a big thing. It never be a thing in United States, but it's a big thing in most Asian countries or even Europe countries. And if you are able to do face swap, it did probably have a security threat to all the face recognition system on the market. But I think they also have solutions to detect and so on. So why face is especially important to everyone. How we think about it from the technology point of view, no, it's a very, very important and common technology. And from the usage point of view, it's one of the most popular usages people like. If you can top the App Store. And from the provider point of view, lots of the largest companies in the world provide it, including Microsoft. And the big change comes from I think there are several things. First is around copyright. We do see that a lot of users, they themselves work with the user side, right? It's very hard to control the copyright from the user side. And but it comes with all the generative AI things. It's really, from my point of view, it's being discussed a lot, mainly because this topic is important. It's not because of anything else, because the people really care about the face, and it's connected to lots of the face recognition system and the banking security system as well. So it's really about the importance of this problem. And for the technology point of view, people are able to do this thing like long time ago, and even they can do it with Photoshop and all the video editing tools. It just becomes much easier. So it's definitely a very interesting topic to discuss. And from our thinking, we do provide deepfakes, and we might provide more deepfakes, various type of deepfakes. To even OpenAI is providing deepfakes, right? So how OpenAI solves that is they say they will put more security rules around how people use Sora to generate videos, right? So it's in general pretty hard. So there are several things we can do. First is we can put watermarks to notify this is AI generated, or develop better tools to animate it AI generated. Second, we can enforce more strict copyright of the videos that's being used or assets being used, these kind of things. But I didn't see any video editor doing that as well. So does Adobe Premiere enforce you to track the copyright of every video you uploaded? No, right? So we didn't see anything like that.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think that it's quite scary if you think about what can be done with deepfakes. I mean, like for instance, Taylor Swift was recently a victim of image-based abuse as well, and that was huge. It was seen by millions of people, and her face was put onto a very unfortunate video as well. I understand there's a lot of companies that have been doing face swapping and deepfakes and all of that, but I'm just wondering, you know, to get your ideas of what you think are the best parameters to put around this technology. Not necessarily that we shouldn't be using the technology. I think there's a lot of benefits to it, but putting parameters around it in order to protect people first and foremost from having to go through something as embarrassing as that. You know what I mean?
We have a whole plan to make the thing more regularized and so on. It just depends on, right? We don't want to be the only person that put all these things out, right? So so there are several things under development, and actually we already have many things ongoing. So first is watermark. We do watermark and tell whether they say AI generated or not. And second is we do detection, and the video come out is AI generated or not. And there is another thing that's currently on plan is for every face you want to swap in, or for every other any person related deepfake you want to do, we do face recognition based consent. So we need we need a live person in front of the camera to consent the usage with face recognition, and then you are able to do all the different things. It's not just a face swap; it could be also be voice clone or digital clone, and all these things. We need a consent, and the consent can be automated by face recognition, all these things. So yeah, so there are lots of ways to do it. So basically, from the technical point of view, it's a very easy to solve problem. It's just from the business point of view, when we are going to launch these things and how it goes and so on. Yeah.
Okay, well, I really like that strategy of the facial recognition consent. I think that's a very, very good first step in my opinion, for sure. Now, as we wrap up, firstly, I know that we all have people that we really respect in our industries, right? So I'm curious, Jiajun, who is that for you?
Yeah, definitely Elon Musk is the role model, and I like most of the things he does, and he wants to conquer the space, right? Conquer the space means going to the Mars, traveling to other satellites, traveling to other space, and so on. Or even right, the electric car is also about space, right? So lots of his work is conquering the space, and for what we do, it's lots of things we do is about conquering the time, right? Space and time are the internal topics for human race, right? So conquering the time, what does that mean? So we do we do like digital humans, digital clones, and a lot of these things. They help you to preserve yourself in a digital format, and maybe even in the future preserve your intelligence in the digital format, right? That's conquering the time. So I think it's a definitely very interesting thing to do in the long run. But I like the moonshot things he's doing, and his vision to conquer the space and so on.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I like that. Trying to conquer space and time. I think that's a very interesting way to look at it, especially in tech, for sure. Now, lastly, Jiajun, if you could go back in time, talking about conquering space and time, if you could go back in time and give your younger self a piece of advice just at the start of your career, what would it be?
Just to follow your heart, do whatever you like, and if you do something you don't like, you will feel very painful, and if you do something you like, then you can keep working on it.
Okay, amazing. Jiajun, thank you so much again for joining us today.
All right, thank you.
And that wraps up our insightful conversation with Jiajun Lu. For those looking for a top-tier agency's expertise, look no further than designrush.com/marketplace. Our marketplace hosts a wide array of agencies that will help bring your vision to life. From marketing to web design, we've got you covered. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more insightful discussions with industry leaders. Once again, I'm your host, Bianca Mayer. Stay curious and join us for the next episode.